The U.S. Marshals are ready in Miami to arrest a cruise ship as soon as she arrives in U.S. waters. Carnival Cruise Lines has changed itineraries for multiple ships. Plus, we reveal Royal Caribbean and Carnival Cruise Lines protocols moving forward after the conditional sailing order. And it's confirmed I have absolutely no cruise control. That's right, I think I just booked another one. All this coming up on Midships. Hey, welcome to the Midships YouTube channel. I'm your Captain Corey, and thank you so much for stopping by the channel today. Well, it's a crazy cruise news day. We've got this U.S. Marshals story going on down in Miami with Crystal Cruises. I promise we're going to get to that. We've got Royal Caribbean news today as far as their new protocols go, and Carnival's big time in the news. So we're going to start with some Carnival-focused news. First, starting with a ship that's been broken, but now she's returned. Let's learn about the Carnival Horizon. From cruisehive.com by Robert McGillivray, Carnival Horizon returned to service today after going to dry docks. The vessel underwent emergency repairs in Italy and just returned to Miami this week. She'll be sailing on her regular itinerary of 6- and 8-night cruises to the Caribbean. During Horizon's absence, the Carnival Sunshine and Carnival Liberty returned to service early to take over her cruises. With her return, Carnival's resumption plans are back on track. The article goes on to remind us that the Horizon was pulled from service back on December 5th, suffering from technical issues affecting her top cruising speed. So the Carnival Horizon, she's back, baby, and looking better than ever. Now, towards the end of last year, I put out a New Year's resolutions type of video, and I kind of listed off some of my goals for this year, 2022, and one of those goals was to do a back-to-back cruise. Well, I'm kind of doing that, but we're sort of bending the rules here. So as you may or may not already know, I'll be cruising aboard the Carnival Liberty on January 31st. It was too good of a deal to pass up. It was literally like $40 to get on this cruise ship. So we booked on that, no questions asked. And well, it just so happens another deal kind of like that has presented itself aboard the Carnival Magic just 2 days after I get home for my Carnival Liberty cruise. So I do want to announce here on the channel that I'm officially going to do a side-to-side Carnival Liberty, January 31st, and then Carnival Magic on February 6th. So go ahead and let me know down in the comments below. Have you ever cruised aboard the Liberty or the Magic, or have you ever taken a side-to-side cruise? Now we have to keep the Carnival Cruise Line theme going here because there's now multiple ships for the company that are changing itineraries. Let's learn more from cruisehive.com. By Emrys Thakkar, Carnival changes itineraries for multiple ships. Carnival Cruise Line has made another round of itinerary changes, impacting a total of 8 vessels, due to the removal of port calls at Grand Cayman, Puerto Rico, and Key West. The changes are limited to just 1 sailing per ship. It's certainly an evolving time at the moment as some cruise destinations either remain closed to the cruise industry or have implemented complex new requirements for cruise ships. And then there's also Key West, where there are local calls to ban large cruise ships once again. Yeah, Key West seems to kind of hate cruise ships, so if it was me and my money, I probably wouldn't book a cruise to Key West for the time being. And with all this comes another round of itinerary adjustments for 8 Carnival ships. And since this is only 8 cruises, I'm going to list them off pretty quickly. Feel free to pause the video if you think your cruise is affected. Carnival Horizon, January 30th. Carnival Sunshine, January 31st. Carnival Pride, February 5th. Carnival Vista, February 5th. Carnival Glory, February 6th. Carnival Sunrise, February 7th. Carnival Liberty, February 7th. And Carnival Ecstasy, March 31st. And in addition to these itinerary changes, Carnival recently came out and said, hey, we've got some protocols that we want to make you aware of going forward if you're going to cruise with us. From cruiseradio.net by Sarah Bretz, Carnival keeps masks, testing, and vaccine cruises until further notice. Carnival Cruise Line announced that it intends to continue following its Have Fun, Be Safe health protocols until further notice. This includes its vaccination requirement for guests age 12 and older, pre-cruise testing, and indoor masking requirements on board. The cruise line is also working to expand testing capabilities at the terminal for vaccinated passengers, specifically for shorter 3- and 4-night cruises. Pre-registration would be required, and there will be capacity limits based on the resources provided. Testing sites to support short cruises will be phased in and announced near the end of this month. And in addition to the new testing at the port, Carnival also wants to help streamline your check-in by verifying your vaccine status. And to do this, the cruise line plans to implement a solution at its U.S. ports called Verifly. It'll use Port Canaveral for its initial pilot program of Verifly starting this Saturday with the Carnival Mardi Gras. And currently, Verifly is widely used by the airline industry and will allow Carnival's guests to upload proof of vaccination and testing information so it can be verified in advance of their cruise. And the author goes on to note that the Verifly pilot program should wrap up pretty quickly and then roll out fleet-wide very, very quickly. Okay, so we need to talk about this cruise ship that's going to be seized by the U.S. Marshals. But first, I do want to remind you all the articles referenced in today's Midships episode are linked in the description below this video. While you're down there at the very top, there's a link to the Midships Instagram. It's a great place to keep up with the Midships family, and I love scrolling through all your cruise pictures, dog and cat pictures there as well. Go ahead and give us a follow. It's just Midships Cruise. And last but not least, there's a link to my Amazon influencers page. It's a great place to find out what cruise swag I take with me on every single cruise and purchase it for yourself. And just clicking on the links does help support this channel just a little bit. Now let's get back into that cruise news, because U.S. Marshals seizing a cruise ship, that sounds pretty serious. Let's learn more from Bloomberg.com. From Bloomberg.com by Oanh Ha, U.S. ready to seize Genting cruise ship on unpaid fuel bills. The Crystal Symphony, a luxury cruise ship operated by financially strapped Genting Hong Kong, will be seized to repay a $1.2 million unpaid fuel bill if it docks in Miami on Saturday. Amid reports, the vessel is now being diverted to the Bahamas to avoid a U.S.-issued arrest warrant. A U.S. Marshal and court-appointed custodian are prepared to arrest the ship if she comes into port as scheduled on Saturday morning in the Florida city. Peninsula Petroleum Far East filed a lawsuit in U.S. District Court seeking to recoup $4.6 million in total unpaid fees for bunker fuel it's delivered to 3 of Genting's ships since way back in 2017. A U.S. district judge in Miami issued the arrest warrant for the Crystal Symphony Thursday, according to Sims and trade publication Trade Winds. And we have a quote from one of the attorneys. The U.S. Marshal will be there with the arrest warrant if the ship shows up in Miami. My good money is that it's not landing in Miami from what we've been told, but our client is determined to recover. And the attorney Sims said he was told by Miami port authorities on Friday that Crystal Symphony no longer plans to dock in Miami early on Saturday as previously scheduled. So picture this. You are on a Crystal cruise, a luxury high-end upscale cruise. You're very excited to get back to Miami, finish up your cruise and head back home, when all of a sudden you're told, well, we're not going to Miami anymore. We're going to Bimini. Well, that's exactly what's going to happen, because Crystal Cruise Line is trying to do everything they can to avoid a repossession of this cruise ship. So essentially what they're going to do now is stop in Bimini. They have an affiliation with the Resorts World property that's there. So they're going to disembark all the passengers and send them by that Balleria high-speed ferry back to Miami, and then turn that Crystal Symphony ship around and get it out of port so it doesn't get repossessed. And in related news, the parent company of Crystal Cruise Lines, Genting Hong Kong, has officially removed the booking engine from their website, so you can't book any more cruises with the line. And now for those of you who are loyal to Royal, it's time for some Royal Caribbean news, specifically about masking policies on board their ships. From cruisehive.com by Melissa Mayntz, Royal will now extend a tightened masking policy. With cases of Omicron continuing to sweep through different communities and ports of call, Royal Caribbean has decided to extend their tightened face mask policy through at least Valentine's Day, February 14th. This is the second time the policy will be extended since it was first tightened back in December. So if you're booked on board a Royal Caribbean cruise in the next month or so, this means masks will continue to be required in all public areas indoors for all guests, regardless of your vaccine status. So to be sure, this masking policy extension, it doesn't really come as too much of a surprise. This is pretty much what all the cruise lines are doing right now in the face of Omicron. We do have some good news coming out of the UK. They are officially lifting their COVID restrictions, and it actually appears that cases are on the decline over there in Europe. It looks like they're about 7 to 10 days ahead of us here in the US. So hopefully here in the next week or so, we also start to see a decline in Omicron cases. If you made it this far into today's episode, why haven't you subscribed to the channel yet? While you're down there, do me the biggest favor you can. Hit the thumbs up button to tell other YouTubers this is a good video. I think you should watch it. Thanks so much for stopping by the channel today, and until tomorrow, we'll see ya on the Midships.